Good morning, everybody. I have half an hour to do a presentation about how to make orienteering more accessible and more attractive. It is very, very short time. So my target today is more to give you some kind of inspiration and maybe some kind of support too. In that case, you need to think outside the box. We orienteers are quite introvert, so we have to go outside the box and think about how can we do in a different way what we're doing today. So if you do some kind of development, what is development? It is changes. You need to do change. So put your hands together. Do like that. And then you take your left hand and one step down and put them together again. How do you feel? It is comfortable or not? Comfortable or not? This is very, 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 very small change. So when you do some kind of big change, you need courage and patience. And I think you have to. My target is to inspire you to have courage and patience to do changes. Then you can do some kind of development. What will cause you to take part in sport? So this is some kind of things you should be thinking about when you think about how to change your activity, your competition, or your orienteering activity. Some kind of values. If you just read this one, fun exercise, desired activity, fantastic and love experience, and so on and so on. Do we have that in orienteering? In some way. Do we promote it? Do we package it? How do we do? Just to do some kind of example, we have an organization in Sweden, also working in other countries, Friskis Svettis. They started 1978 with only, how do I push the laser? That one, okay. Yeah. So we just started with 3 things: Jumpa basic, moderate, and intensive. That means they have aerobic training by music all together. And today we have 80 more activities just to be part of how can we make activities for all customers. Today we have 5,500,000 members in Sweden. In my club in Borlänge, we have 42,000 inhabitants. We have 7,000 members in this activity. So if we can take some kind of values from Friskis Svettis and put it in orienteering, I think we can grow. What happened now? Okay, I have done 2 kind of part. We have a competition. That means we have a timekeeping. Which this guy here, P.O. Bengtsson, he is always running orienteering with timekeeping. Still, 85 years old, and he loves it. And we should always develop that kind of stuff. But the other thing, just to have a fun orienteering, do when you want to do it by yourself, do it together with friends, no timekeeping. Can we do that more? So when you come into a competition, the most common question you have after a race, how was your race? Did you do any mistakes? You always think about how can you do it better, how can you be a better orienteer? I missed 5 minutes of that control or whatever. I think we should be more think about how joyful was your activity. How do you like it? Was it fun? And then try to get a smile from a face from your customer. Not about, I did mistake 5 minutes. These 2 stuff we should be develop. How can we develop competition? How can we develop just for fun? We have got some kind of post-it on the table. So please, during the day, write some kind of ideas you have in your mind, whatever it will be. On the pink one, just for fun. On the green one, for competition. And put your post-it on the flipboard over there. And maybe, in the end, we have 100, maybe 200 new ideas how to develop orienteering. Okay, on telly, or when you watch it. So many people outside orienteering will say, this is a really good TV sport. It is brilliant sport to watch. And people here say, okay, orienteering looks cool. Maybe awesome. And this audience, they have questions. Where can I do it? When can I do it? And how can I do it? See, when we have a World Cup, we have World Champs, and we have live orienteering, we should be prepared in every city, in every village, in every club, to take care of our new customer. So stay out there. Okay, we have a nice picture on the telly. Please come over here. You can do it like this. And you don't need the timekeeping. The most famous orienteer. Who is that? It depends who you're asking. Are you asking orienteers? And you're asking the orienteers in Sweden? Okay, it will be, of course, Miss Alexandersson. But maybe it can be James Bond, if he will be promoted and marketed by orienteering. But maybe this guy, he was born about 1980, Super Mario. Maybe he is the most famous orienteer or navigator in the world among all youngsters. Super Mario, he always navigates in the computer games. And navigation is orienteering. So maybe orienteering can be an e-sport. For me, navigation skills is part in most of the countries in the curriculum. And for me, it's more like, how can we use orienteering as a tool to educate students in navigation skills? So we don't need to talk about orienteering. We can talk about more about navigation skills, how we can navigate on lakes, on the sea, in the mountain, but also in the forest or in urban cities. So for me, it's more like all schools should have some kind of map. And this is potential to go to school. So my target is all clubs worldwide should have a connection with at least one school and have a cooperation with them. Then you have a lot of new potential youngsters who can really take part in orienteering. I have many pictures. I have cut it down, but there's some kind of examples so we can use the school maps. Do you know about rally driving? They have a transportation stage, and they have a special stage. In orienteering, you can do like that. Use all the school maps you have in your city. You start up. You start and go to the stage one. When you come to the stage one, you make your orienteering. It can be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Then you stop, take your bike again, or you go by running, or go by skating to the next stage. So you can always use your school maps, even both in school, but also for your own club's activity. Or maybe you can use the subway and make a treasure hunt. Make teams together, school teams or business team, something else. You use the orienteering or the navigation to do some kind of orienteering. Same here, you start at the central station in Sweden, in Stockholm, go to this free station. You have 24 checkpoints, and the mission is, on each map you have 8 controls, 8 checkpoints. You have to find 3 of them. Because the 3 of them, there's some kind of message. Put that together, and then you have the final decision for how you can find the treasure. So you can just think about how you can use orienteering in so many other ways. Maize is amazing. No doubt about that. If you build a maze in a school, they can keep on going for the whole day. And they say, "I'll come back tomorrow?" Of course, I'm coming back whenever you want. The maze is so easy, both to educate people how to fit the map to the terrain, but also for fundraise, but also for competition. So at Wood, this year in my home city, one of my home city, one of them, we had a maze during the whole day, but in the afternoon we had some kind of training race. We had first part took part in the maze, the second one in the sprint race, the third one in the maze, and the fourth one in the sprint, and then the last one in the maze again. Nearly 50 controls in 30 minutes. Very intensive orienteering. And that is fun. even for you as old guys. Speed climbing, do you know that? This is a really nice thing to think about. They started the International Federation of Sport Climbing, was founded 2007. It is 11 years ago. And 2020, we are going to take part in Olympic Games in Tokyo. Do you know what speed climbing is? The first one on the top is a winner. It takes about 6 seconds. People sitting as you are, but with coffee or beer or something else, and just watch it. Perfect TV, it's standardized course, and it's easy to understand. You can do the same thing in the Maize. The parallel, and this kind of Maize, which should be 2 mazes, mirror Maize, same course, easy to follow, easy to understand. You can use Maize both for education, but also to make fun, but also for real competition. And for me, even on, I don't know if I have like that, but for me, Maize is part of the future orienteering, even for maybe for knockout sprint or whatever. But Maize should be used in many, many ways, both for promote orienteering, but also as a competition. But it's my view. You can find Maize everywhere in the world. Amazing Maize. And you can find them in America, you can find them in around all castles, so you can make orienteering, because the terrain is already built there. Even in a cattle house, with like 100 x 200 meters, you can use as orienteering. The first time, I think it was done in Russia for many, many years ago, but in France, that has been taken on board to be a part of a competition games. And you make a very easy map over a small place. You have fences, you have promotion balloons, and so on. And this is one of the most funniest orienteers events you can find in France. Outside here, in each hotel or every official building, you will find this kind of evacuation plan. Use them for orienteering. Use them as a background to make an orienteering map. And you have an indoor map all over the world. Where you can find maps, like on ship, where you find maps everywhere, use them for orienteering. Use them just for fun. Use them for conference activity. Use them for business. Use them for treasure. So try to use the word of orienteering in a more different way. Change, how do you want to explain orienteering? Because it can be just a treasure hunt. It can be some kind of navigation. So you don't need to use orienteering, but you use orienteering as a tool to promote what you want people to do. So these kind of indoor maps are growing all over the world. And we have a lot of this kind of mall and shopping center we can use. And in Latvia, I think they had about 25 events last winter. And one of them had about 1,800 participants. So these races, these events in Latvia have been a big part how to grow orienteering in Latvia. And as you know, there was also some kind of unofficial world champs in indoor orienteering this year in Latvia as well. The future is both to have a map in your hand, but also to use the telephone, the smartphone, the tablets, and so on. And O-Track, we're working together with in World Orienteering Day to just use for virtual orienteering. We don't have any flags in the terrain. We have just the flags in the space. This is one of my favorites. I've been using it quite a lot in Sweden. You can use that for all other kind of activities, both for orienteering, but also for business company, for education, for information. So in school you can use it for both to have information about your subject and so on. But you also do this together in cooperation with partners. As we did in Strömstad, we have this, you can put the maps in this app, both the orienteering map, but also other kind of maps that are used for other kind of scale, other kind of things. The thing is that you have a GPS signal in your phone, as you know, and when you come into the area of the checkpoint, they have a pling in your phone, and then it appears some kind of picture of where you are. And then in cooperation with this company, you have some kind of question about what is the price of and then you get the answer, yes or no. And today we have an offer in our shop, so please buy. So you can do a lot of things with volunteering and do it with business, but you don't have to go to the forest. You can be where you are. In the future, I said it for 2 years ago, I said in 5 years we have a super thin, foldable tablet to use for volunteering. And you know, all phones and all tablets, they are produced in glass, but in the future they will be doing in plastic. Then it's going to be foldable. That can be much more useful for the future. When you can download every maps you have in the whole world and use it where you are. We have a race in Gothenburg. This kind of race is growing around worldwide. It's urban run. It's not orienteering, but this is some kind of great experience for just to be running. This kind of running, they follow a marked route. They go inside to the theater, to the opera, and they visit and get some kind of information about what's happening here. Also in a mall, in a cafe. But the thing is that it's 6K about, there's no timekeeping, they're running for fun. They just run together and just do it together with friends. And the organizer, we always have a cooperation with shops during this kind of stage. The thing is, can you compare that to move it to orienteering? I think so. This is the idea I have. You have a marked route, and you have orienteering, some kind of orienteering, like biathlon or other kind of orienteering, when you come to the finish. You can use the marked route, and then you have orienteering. So to put it together and do it another way is possible. Some ideas about some great events in Sweden, and I like them very much because they are focused on the youngsters. Please come to our competition as a kid, as a young guy, and what can we do for you? And if your parents want to come there, they are welcome. But we focus on the youngsters. So this competition, we're running 2 days, a relay on Saturday, and then a big disco on Saturday night, and then have a long distance together the day after. And we are running in the best dressed. So all this kind of participants try to dress in some way. And this one is very, very strange, if you can do volunteering in a dollar horse. But 2,000 youngsters are coming to this competition, together with 1,500 in open class. But the 2,000, they are the most important group you're looking for. The 1,500 is just a bonus. In the springtime, Sommarlandssprinten, in the entry fee is both the sprint and to visit the park during the whole day. So you have orienteering and something more. So in this amusement park, you can do a lot of things after the race. Same here, focus on the youngsters, parents, and other kind of coaches, they are welcome, but focus on the youngsters. In 1 month, we will have a competition in Borås. Friday night, sprint by night, then you have a downhill sprint, and you have a zoo sprint. They are taken apart from the football stadium. So we have 3 races, focus on the youngsters, they have arena production, because the production of all the screen, we are already there from the football, so you can use them too. Same here, a lot of youngsters coming to the competition. The competition is a small part of the whole weekend. Then you can do a lot of other kind of activities for fun and for team building. Harpagan. Do you know how many knows about Harpagan? No one. Yeah? Do you know Harpagan means in Polish the great horse or the great man? It's like Vasaloppet in Sweden, the skiing 19K, or the big event Jukkola, the relay. The Harpagan is a map 1 to 50,000. Mass start, you can do it either biking or walking, running. Or you can also do it biking, walking and biking together. You do it in 14 hours, 24 hours, or whatever, depending on what kind of distance. But the biking is going on for 200K. The running, the big one, will be for 100K. So it's a long distance, it's a long time. But they're working together, they do it together, and they have fun during the race. But it's more like, I have done this kind of big challenge. It started in 1989, twice a year, April and October. So students are going to be in the next one. They have always between April and October 15 mini Harpagan in the city, about 2 hours, just to promote it, to test it, because it's some kind of training for the big Harpagan. And this is the biggest orienteering race in Poland, and only 10% are real orienteers, and 90% are coming from outside, from business company or other sports. Leo was talking about how we can open up for other things in orienteering. This is 2 very successful projects in Sweden and Norway. Stolpejakten and Hitta Ut. A huge map over the city. And controls or checkpoints in color. Very easy, moderate, and difficult. And you have a pool in the forest, and you take a photo of your QR code to get the punching. At the moment, Hitta Ut, we had about 32 locations in Sweden at the moment, 25,000 participants, and Norway has been very, very successful. And they are also, I think, the year of health project in Norway. So this is the development of the Stolpejakten in Norway. It started 2013 and ended up now in 2018. This is a great potential to get people from the adult part of us, but maybe it can also be part of the youngsters, to the school, but most of the thing is do it together as an adult. Okay, I think we can, as a competition, we can focus on Maize, Sprint, GBS, Middle, and so on in the future. And the question is more like, how can we package it? Because it should be close, it should be simple, it should be cheap, it should be used, you can do it every time, very, very, very often. It should be very short time to do it, few courses directly and weekdays. In Finland, they have, if you go into Helsinki, I think you can do orienteering in Helsinki, the capital of Finland, each weekdays from May to October, more or less. And it's very simple, few courses and very easy to do. I think we have to ask our common customer, what do you want to do with orienteering? I think they will answer that I will do when I can. I will do it for fun. I will do it to get fit, to be healthy. I will do it together with other people. So I think to run together like a patrol or a group or a pair has been, we can use that much more in real orienteering. You can do it during lunch or after work. It should be where I'm living, close to where I live. And we don't need timekeeping, but you can have timekeeping, but you don't have to do a results list. It should be available 24/7. Download it from the internet. You can do whenever you want. But maybe on Wednesday we have a orienteering in this area, but all the flags be out for weeks. You can do whenever you want. Green, red, black courses, easy to understand. And if you do some kind of event, just think about, should we do something more? Should we add something more to the orienteering? Because what's happened now in Sweden about the normal orienteering, ordinary orienteering during the weekend, they are going down. This is the simple way. Have three different kind of level, 3 courses, different kind of distance. Then you have cover what we really want to do in orienteering, and do that very often. Do that weekdays. If you want to have an event during the weekend, you can put something more, but this can be the platform. Okay, what kind of brand do you have in your club or your event? Think about What are you selling? What are you telling people with your brand? And I think the brand should be profiled from the invitation to the result list with all kind of stuff as you will recognize. This is a competition, this is an event I really want to take part in. Yes. So we have a test to do. PPP. What kind of product do we want to produce? How want we to package it? And how can we promote it? And to whom? So this is the question you have to maybe discuss first after you have all your ideas on the board. And then the work is going to start. Sell, sell, sell. And we are bloody bad to sell orienteering. And we need to do it face to face all the time. So when you meet somebody in an airplane, you sit beside. So what are you doing? I'm an orienteer. Do you know what orienteering is? When you start it. So sell it, sell it, sell it. It's your work. Okay, if you don't know it, World Orienteering Day, next time, we start May 15. And before I finish my presentation, Theo Bengtsson, he's my orienteering dad, but he's a man full of inspiration. If anyone say it's impossible, he just changed the word, I am possible. And he is the next man who's going to speak. Thank you for attention.